Right, hi everyone. Short date and learn objective, please. To calculate the area and perimeter of a triangle and a parallelogram. Pause the video while you do that, and then we'll get on with the lesson. Okay. Right, I just thought I'd add, and I'll do that a little bit, every now and again. Add some different sort of videos in, so you can hear somebody else droning on and telling you what to do instead of just me. All right. So. We are going to do that. First thing I'd like you to do, please, is can you copy this information down? Because you can always refer back to it then. So draw a triangle, okay? Draw a triangle and show how we find the area of that triangle. So as the video showed, there's two options. And you can halve the base and times the height, or you can do the base times the height and then divide that by 2. So if you can draw the triangle, draw the line going up, and this is the it's shown as a right angle from the base, isn't it? Right angle from the base up to the very top part of it, okay? And same here, just draw the parallelogram. Again, draw the lines going up, oops, the line going up, and the right angle, and the area for that, area equals base times height, okay? So copy those into your books, please. Press pause while you do that, and press play when you're done. Now, before we do calculate some of those, I'd just like to go over multiplying decimals. So you could, for example, have, say for example, you've got this parallelogram, and I'll do it. So you've got this parallelogram. I'm going to do it very roughly, okay? So the base of this parallelogram is 6.3. Now this is 6 centimeters, okay? But that doesn't count, remember. It's how tall it is at a right angle from the base. So say, for example, then this is 5. Now I know it's the base, 6.3, times the height, 5. So remember what we've got here is we've got a decimal number. Now this is how we can deal with decimals, okay, when we're multiplying. This is the best way I think of doing it, is I'm going to ignore the decimal, okay? So it becomes 63, and I'm just going to times it by 5, and I'm going to use my normal method. 5 times 3 is 15, 5, carry the 1 wherever you'd like to carry it. 5 6s are 30, and 1 is 31. So we got 315, and then I look back at my question, and I've got one number after the decimal point here. I haven't got any numbers after the decimal point in the second part of my question. So in total, I've got one number after the decimal point in the question. So it's one number after the decimal point in the answer. So the answer to that one would be 31.5 centimeters squared. Okay. Oh, it's the table squeaking. I was wondering what was squeaking. Right. So let's. So for example, if I had a base where I had, let's do an example of a triangle. Okay, so here we have that. So I've got, say I've got this is 7.3, and then this is 5 centimeters. Okay, now the formula I want to do, of course, is on this one, I'm not going to halve this. You can either halve the base and times the height, or you can multiply them and divide by 2. So I'm going to do that one. I'm going to multiply and divide by 2. Okay, so multiplying 7.3 times 5. So again, okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to ignore the decimal point for now. Times it by 5. 7 5s, 3 5s are 15. 5, carry the 1. 7 5s are 35, and 1 36. So I get to that. Okay, 365. One number after the decimal point in my question, 1 in the answer. So that gives me, so by multiplying those together, that gives me, well, I just rubbed it out, didn't I? 7.3 times 5, let me just do that quickly. Yeah, 7 5 is 35, and 1 is 36. Yeah, so I got 36.5. Okay, but of course I do have to then, from there I have to divide it by 2, isn't it? Because it's the base times the height divided by 2. So I've done the base times the height, 36.5. Divide that by 2. Okay, I've picked a tricky one here, haven't I? I'm going to put an extra 0 there just because I know I'll need it later. Okay, 1, carry the 1, 8, put the decimal pointing, 2, carry the 1, 5. So it would be 18.25 centimeters squared. And actually, that's probably trickier than apart from some of the extension questions. It's probably one of the trickiest ones you can do. Let's quickly, if we have a parallelogram, in fact we can even do, let's just do a good old-fashioned rectangle, and say for example then this is 3.6 centimeters and this is 4.1 centimeters. It's length times the width. Okay, so again all I'm going to do, I'm going to just write 41, I'm going to ignore it, 36, I'm going to ignore these. It's 3.6 times 4.1, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to ignore the decimals for now. I'm going to do 1 6 is 6, 6, 12, 18, 24, carry the 2 there, so that's that one done, isn't it? When I'm dealing with the 3, this 3 is with 30, so do the most important thing in the world, add that 0. 1 times 3 is 3, 3 times 4 is 12, and then I would add them up, 6, 7, 4, 1. So we should be able to remember how to do that. Now, let's go back to my question. Okay, let's go back to my question. Now I've got one number there and one number there after the decimal point. So that tells me I've got 2 numbers after the decimal point in the question. So I have to put 2 in the answer. So the answer to this one would be 14.76 centimeters squared. Remember, it's squared, okay? Right, so that was just a quick reminder on multiplying. Decimals. Just have a go at these 3, please. Oh, where are they? Just have a go at these 3, and then we'll carry on with the shapes. Okay, pause the video while you do those. Okay, using the full method, please. Okay, pause the video, press play when you're done. Right, okay, so yeah, let's just quickly go through them. 4. So the first one, I'm not going to write down the 4 times 5. 5, carry the 1. So I've got that, okay. There's one number after decimal point, so it becomes 21.5. If I have a look at the next one, I'm just going to put the bigger number on the top. 32 times 6. 12, carry the 1. 18. And, sorry. And 1 is 19, so I'm going to try to do this a bit too quickly. One number after decimal point in the question, 1 in the answer. Okay, so we'll look at the last one. 35 times 24. 4 5s are 20, 0, carry the 2. 12, so we've got 14. Let's rub that out, don't need that anymore. Add the most important thing in the world. 2 5s are 10. 6 and 1 is 7. Okay, add them up. 0, 4, 8, 40. So let's have a little look. There's 2 numbers after the decimal point in the question, so I need 2 in the answer. So this one would be 8.40 or 8.4. It doesn't matter. Okay, either way. Right. Okay, let's get on to the main parts of the lesson. So we've already gone through a couple of examples, haven't we? And you've seen some examples done on the other video. Okay, so remembering the key here, okay, if I got, for example, if this is 5 centimeters, this is 7 centimeters, and this is 6.5 centimeters. Now, first of all, if I want to do the perimeter, I'll just add up the sides. Okay, 7 and 5 is 12, add 6 is 18, add half is 18 and a half, 18.5 centimeters. So that's just perimeter, just adding up the sides. In this question here, I couldn't do the area, okay, because it doesn't give me the height. You need the height to tell you the area. Now some questions might even just tell you the height just outside the question. So if you see something like that just outside the question, so say for example the height on this one is, let's go with 6, okay, with 6 centimeters. You might see it there, you might see it down here, and what it always is, it's always perpendicular is the word, isn't it? It's at a right angle to this baseline, okay, and you can tell that here with my thing that just shows a right angle. So if this is 6 centimeters, okay, because this is an odd number, it's probably best not to halve it because it can make it a bit trickier, okay. So for most people, I think most people just like to do base times height, and then after they've done that they divide that by 2. So 7 times 6 is 42. 42 divided by 2, half of 42. If you need to do bus stop method, do bus stop method, okay, when you're dividing by 2, equals 21. So the answer to this one is 21. Remember, it has to be centimeters squared, okay, centimeters squared, it has to be the centimeters squared. So just remember, you can only do it if you've got the perpendicular line, the line at the right angle from the base going up to tell you the height, okay. You can always do the you could still do the perimeter on that one, okay. Right, let's have a look at a parallelogram. Okay, so we've got that like that. So again, this could be 4.5 centimeters, and this could be 3 centimeters. This, that, okay. Again, from here we can work out the perimeter, because remember with the parallelogram this is also going to be 4.5, and this is going to be 3, and we add them up. 4.5 and 4.5 is 9. Add 3 is 12, add 3 is 15. 15 centimeters, okay? And again, we can't work out the area until we know, and again, sometimes these will have them. So these side bits, okay, these side bits for the area are no help at all, okay? Yeah, no help at all. So sometimes, again, it might have it on the side there, so it might be 4 centimeters, okay? And or it might have it here, 4 centimeters, or it might have it wherever, okay. So when you see the perpendicular line, the height of this, yeah, from the base at a right angle from the base, and that was the one you look for, okay. So in this case it would be 4.5 times 4, so I'm just going to do 45 times 4, okay, 20, 16, so it's 180. I know that there's one, if I'm doing 4.5 times 4, there's just one number after the decimal point in the question, 1 in the answer. The answer is 18 centimeters squared. Okay, right, we're just going to have a couple of examples of these because I think we'll be perfectly fine in them. So in your books, number 4, could you have a go at that, please? Find the area and the perimeter. Pause the video while you do that, and off you go. Right, let's have a little look. Okay, so yeah, this 6 and the 8 and the 7, that's really, you know, we need this for the perimeter. So let's do the perimeter first. So 7 and 8 is 15. And 6 is 21, so the perimeter is 21 centimeters, which is adding up all the sides. Then let's have a look. We want to do the area of the triangle. Let's remember it's the base times the height, and then you divide that by 2. So 7 times 5, there's the height is 5, isn't it? Okay, 7 times 5 is 35. I'll just do that underneath. 35 divided by 2. So I'm going to do my bus stop method for that. Okay, because 35 divided by 2. How many 3's are in 1? Sorry, how many 2's are in 3? 1, remainder 1. How many 2's are in 15? 7, and remainder 1. Now remember what we do here. Okay, with our remainder, we're just going to put another 0 there. Okay, we're going to put another 0. How many 2's are in 15? 7 remainder. 1, we just carry that remainder forward. How many 2's are in 10? 5. So we get 17.5. So 17.5 centimeters squared, and we need to put that squared in, okay? We need to put that squared in. Some of you will be able to halve that in your head, and that's fine, okay? Let's have a look at question number 2, please. Sorry, we can call it question number 5. Okay, just, yeah, okay. Pause the video while you do that, press play when you're done. So let's do perimeter, okay, to start off. Because it's a parallelogram, the opposite sides will be the same. So 7.5 and 7.5 is 15. 15. 6 and 6 is 12. 15 and 12, 27 centimeters. Actually, with the area, a little bit of a trick question. With the area, you couldn't do the area. Okay, you can't do the area for this one. Okay, let's just put it up here. I'm going to just add in the height now. These 6's do not give you the height, okay? So you cannot do the area unless you have this. Let's make this 6.1 centimeters. 6.1 centimeters. So I'm going to have to multiply the base times the height, okay? The area of a parallelogram is just base times height. You do not divide it by 2. So just remember the difference between the two shapes, okay? For a triangle you divide base times, you do the base times height and you divide it by 2. For a parallelogram, you just do the base times the height, okay? So 7, let's do that underneath. Let's give us a bit of space. So I'm going to do 75 times 61. Okay, 1 5 is 5, 1 7 is 7, most important thing in the world, 6 5 is 30, not carry the 3, 7 6 is 42, add 3 is 45, so let's add those up, 5, 7, yeah, 4 5 7 5, let's look at the question, I'm multiplying that, and they have 2 numbers, don't they, before the decimal point, yeah. I'm doing 7.5 times 6.1, and there's 2 numbers after the decimal point in the question, so there needs to be 2 points after 2 numbers after the decimal point in the answer. So here we have 45.75 centimeters squared. Okay, right, so hopefully we're okay with those. Actually, the work we've done here is much trickier actually than, apart from when you get to the end part of the extension, it's much easier the work we're doing here than the work we'll do in our books. Okay, so can we do these please? Page 56, questions 6 to 9, so it's only 4 there. Page 57, questions 1 to 6. Okay, you don't need to draw them in your book. Please don't draw them in your book. And then I think a lot of us will need to do the extension sheet, because I think you'll do these ones in particular. You'll do these quite quickly. Okay. Remember, when it's area, you put the centimeters squared. You put the squared thing. Okay, and then the extension sheet is attached to the portal, so you can print that off, please, and have a go at that. All right. Good luck with that, everyone. Bye.